Hail and Matches Kingdom, welcome to Pass of Excel 2 a third edict, where we got new changes to the end game, and today I will show you new farming strategies you may use. Well, I guess it's enough for an intro. Okay, let's start with our first strategy, and this will be just content farming. So it's super easy, straightforward, and also the cheapest one if you want to invest into the strategy. Technically, you don't even need to invest a lot, but again, everything that you will need for the strategy can be bought pretty cheaply. What I mean by content farming? Well, first of all, we need correct atlas setup. So for any strategy today, you will need this top part. So this top part should be exactly the same. You need these little white guys. They will increase effects of precursor tablets, so just making those more powerful. Then we got these two guys on the left and on the right. On the right is more important for us, but on the left is also important. It will increase effect of explicit modifiers on Waystones for each tablet affecting the map. And we always will be using 3 tablets, therefore it's like triple effect. For example, this nodes over here gives 3% increase effect of explicit modifiers, and just one node over here gives effect of 3 of those. So that's like super important stuff. Also, I recommend to use precursor influence, because drop rate of these tablets lowered significantly, so it's like harder to get those. But you can even skip it by going on top, having more rogue exiles. Then another important part is located over here. Again, explicit modifiers, a little bit of rarity, a little bit of quantity of items, and more explicit modifiers. We're basically making a fork over here, and also this is like important, increasing explicit modifiers based on amount of explicit modifiers. So we're running with 6 fully upgraded Waystones, and we're getting plus 12%. Unstable energies, also super important because it will increase power of Waystones even more. Now, to this skeleton, we're adding one content, and sometime you will be forced to change it a little bit. But here's the content you may run. There's Azmiri Spirits, which is located on the bottom right, and also Essences, which is also on the bottom right, but on the top part over here. So Azmiri Spirits is great. Most important part is choosing correct spirits. Here you will find spirits that you may pick, and you always want to go for Vivid Spirit. If you're farming Essences, it's up to your preference. Most important part of Essences is this node over here that will corrupt Essences additional time, and if you're farming Essences, you're just corrupting them when you find them, which will result in rare Essences. And last but not least is Strong Boxes. So Strong Boxes is super good if you're running high rarity character and or if you're running pretty weak character. So if you're just starting out, Azmiri Spirits, Essences can be really hard to deal with, but Strong Boxes, you just come, you open, and that's it. For Strong Boxes, again, you want to kind of mimic the right part that I just showed you. You want to have more Strong Boxes, more and more and more and more Strong Boxes, and this last part will give you ability to open Strong Boxes twice. Researcher Strong Boxes will drop you currency items, and currency items is divine orbs basically. Yeah, sometimes it drops divine orbs, sometimes lots of chaos orbs, so it's pretty nice stable strategy. But if you're hunting for real gold, that's Azmiri Spirits, that's Essences. This season I got almost no luck with Essences, but loads of luck with Azmiri Spirits. I recommend you to running different strategies, see what you like more. Again, Essences a lot easier, but Azmiri Spirits can give you like nice amount of valuable currency. So should you go for shrines? Well, there's shrine that will give you rarity, 200% rarity on your map, and that's pretty fun one, but it's not worth it because it's random. And another content you may want to run is actually Rogue Exiles. So you just invest over here in Rogue Exiles, so you will encounter them more and more and more and more. Definitely never take Cataclysm, because items of Rogue Exiles will be corrupted, and you don't want corrupted items, they're just trash, at least in my experience. Maybe there are some situations like corrupted items and then intelligence items and also weapons. So if you make this combination, maybe you can drop something like Palm of the Dreamer. And this scepter, yeah, it will go for 100 divine orbs, pretty good one. But honestly, that's some miracle stuff. So if you're farming Rogue Exiles, you just want to encounter them as often as possible, and you want to run correct Waystones, more on that in a second. But also if you're running content, you just want to invest over here in bosses. So you want to advance bosses category, and if you're looking for specific content, then you just add it over here. So maps with powerful map bosses will have extra content. It's important to know that only maps with this like powerful bosses will have this content, and we will run content right now. So preparation is done. Basically, my Atlas set it up for Asmiri spirits to encounter them more often and have abilities for these Asmiri spirits to run around. But first of all, we need to prepare our Waystones, a raw product. You can start with transmutation augmentation, regal, exalted orb slams, but it's easier and cheaper to just slam orb of alchemy. Pow, we got it. Also in new patch you can slam orb of alchemy on blue Waystones to make it a rare with 4 modifiers. Now we got modifiers. Then our preparation looks like this. We're adding extra ingredients. So we're adding Exalted Orb to have 5 modifiers total, and you will know it by looking over here. Revive attempts should be 1. This process will add different modifiers on bottom that will make map harder, but also it will add modifiers on top. It can add more monster packs, more magic monsters, rare monsters, item rarity, Waystone drop chance, and so on and so on. So it's pretty random, and we got everything kinda not together. To tie everything together, we can use omens. There's different omens that you may find in ritual, or you can buy them. For this strategy, when you're farming content, you want to add a rarity omen, so omen of chaotic rarity. If you don't have it, it doesn't mean you can't run the strategy. It costs like 30 exalted orbs. Should you buy it? Up to you. You can just use other omens, or you can skip this step completely, so it doesn't matter, because also we will use 1 chaos orb, and chaos orb kind of mixes everything together, you know, a little bit of whisk, and pow, we get only rarity on this Waystone, so we get insanely high item rarity right now. It basically changes all modifiers to modifiers that will give us a rarity on top part. Now we need to season this dish, and we're seasoning with desecration. So we're using this vertebrae, basically a bone that drops from abyssal guys, from green guys. And these green guys give us green modifier. Now we need to go and see what seasoning we used, because picking correct seasoning is super important. So let's drop it into Well of Souls and see. So that's the seasoning we got over here, and I know that we need to pick this one because I visited PoE 2DB into modifier section, into desecrated modifier section, and into desecrated Waystone mods. So that's all modifiers we could roll, and they will roll something from abyssal guys. They will most often will give us map item drop chance, basically Waystone drop chance, but also some of them will add a rarity. And again, we want to focus on a rarity. And this marked for dash will give us 40% more rarity, so I know what to pick. Honestly, it doesn't matter too much, but again, if you're going for strategy, it's better to stick to strategy. And of course, if you got option to have overrun with abyssal modifier over here, you can just pick it, because this overrun with abyssal Waystones can be sold for high amount, almost divine orb, or sometimes even divine orb. So that's like just good modifier. If you don't like to run this abyssal stuff, then definitely just skip it. But there's also a use for this item in our strategy. But here's the last part. We added all ingredients, we seasoned our dish, mixed it well, but we need to add a little bit of sauce, and that's diluted emotions. Yeah, we need to add a little bit of emotion to our dish, and it will be great for this item. So grit is delirium, distilled emotions that dropped from delirious guys basically, and by adding them to our Waystone, well, we're increasing our rarity even more. So just on this Waystone alone, we got 160% rarity. It doesn't matter what character rarity for you right now, it's just more than enough for solo character. Now we will go into some direction. On any map, it doesn't matter. Again, right now, it completely doesn't matter. You just drop Waystone, and now you need to apply tablets. So tablets is important, and you're looking for 2 types of tablets. So one of them will have from 50 to 100% increased chance to contain your content. I got this for like 100% increased chance to contain Asmiri spirits. I'm hunting for Asmiri spirits right now, therefore again it's a nice idea to have this. But also there's stuff in prefixes. Map contain additional Asmiri spirit or other content you may look for. So additional rock exile and so on and so on. So that's like a good one. Again, as I told you, if you want to fully utilize your Atlas, you want to have powerful boss precursor tablet. So that's the tablet for precursor for powerful boss basically. And it almost doesn't matter what's in prefix suffix, you just want this map, so you will have 1 additional Asmiri spirit on the map. And technically I have like 2 additional Asmiri spirits from my Atlas and my tablet. I get 100% chance to contain Asmiri spirits. It basically gives me loads of Asmiri spirits on the map. Another option is to actually use this stuff. It's super cool and fun. and that's nice for the strategy. It will infuse mob boss with Asmira Spirits. It will make it a lot more harder to beat, but again, it gives us pretty good drops. So, Asmira Spirits, let's see what's going on over here. Strategy number 1. Okie dokie. So, we need to be careful. At first, we got our tablets. And when you're running Asmira Spirits like me, well, you need to look actually around so you don't miss them. Sometimes they are sneakily hiding in some bushes, like right over here. Overall, starting goal is to just find Asmira Spirits. So that's like first goal. And you know that everything set it up correctly if you check your map bonuses. So array contains 2 additional Asmira Spirits, as I told you, but it got chance for extra Asmira Spirits, and it got 452% chance increased for Asmira Spirits. And how it works, it actually sometimes spawns like 5 additional Asmira Spirits or even more. It's like pretty crazy, I would say. Okay, we got the first one. We see it on the map, and basically we need to come close to the spirit, and he will follow a road, and we are following him on this road. If you're too slow, he can actually disappear, but most of the time, if there's still rare enemies on the map, he won't disappear, and he can ignore some of them. So just go and fight them, and we got pretty crazy stuff going on right now. But where is my spirit? So you need to be careful not to defeat all rare enemies before Asmira Spirit infuses them, but you need to defeat enemies nearby of the spirit, because they will be spirit touched, and they will give spirit more power. Therefore, you will have more drops from guy who is infused by Asmira Spirit, and this guy right now is infused, so I will delete him with my strike, and tada, he's out. So this Asmira Spirit got deleted. He is basically out from this game, but there can be a little bit more of them. Here's one more. Another cool strategy is to actually, if you're able to find multiple spirits in one place, combine them. You can have combined spirit, and it can attract to one guy, and that's pretty crazy. That's how I got most of my juicy drops. So we get armory strong box. I never open it. If you run strong boxes, so then you also don't want to open it a lot of time. If you got some items, since items is most of the time trash inside of this guy, but you always want to open research a strong box. So for Asmira Spirits, one little problem actually, that if you defeat every unique role like I did right now, he disappears. Every rare enemy, I mean. And that's like a problem. That's a problem. Because right now we can't see how much elite enemies is still on the map. So that's why Asmira Spirits right now is a little bit hard, but that's basically how you play them. So it's a little bit weird, not for everyone, because you need to be patient until Spirit will infuse enemy. So let's defeat the map boss. He will be infused with Asmira Spirit also, which is pretty fun in my opinion. He hunted by a wolf. And dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, he's out. Now, this guy can drop something cool. Again, with Asmira Spirit, drop of better items, of high tier items is a lot better. Also, these bosses will drop like highly tiered rare items. So we got Gemini Bow tier 5. Most of the time it's just trash, but sometimes it rolls pretty good stuff. You can just like roll, for example, tier 1 physical damage. Try to fracture this mod and sell fractured physical damage bow. But again, if you're hunting for Asmira Spirits, well, you're hunting actually for this talisman. Talisman of Sirius is Vivid Talisman. It gives you attack speed for gloves, and it goes for like 5-6 divines right now, so that's pretty good one. Week ago I hunted Asmira Spirits. I got like 5 of them. I sold 4. I got 1 in my gloves. I don't need 2. And they was for like 9-10 divines, so they was a lot more valuable. That's why again, when you're farming for content, it will be same strategy but different content. So for example, right now you just need to check if there's like any value in hunting Essence of Horror, for example. It's like 3 divines, not bad, we can farm those, but I got almost no luck with Essence of Horror. Wild like 200 of those and got only 1 probably, so I got a lot more luck with Asmira Spirits. That's why if you want more stable stuff, you want to go for strong boxes even right now, or for these guys, for Rogue Exiles. So Rogue Exiles is just very good guys. We're investing fully in those. Now what to do with Rogue Exiles? I told you there's like lots of trash items that drop from them. Well, beside one item, and this item can be achieved a lot easier on Waystone like this with Overrun by Abyssal mod. So we're looking for Waystone with loads of pits. If you can find it yourself, well, there's like little versions with like 3 additional pits, but you want actually like 18 additional pits or like 16, 17, that's like best case scenario. We also adding a little bit of grit on top, so we're increasing item rarity, but mostly we're increasing delirium area, so delirious is actually adding loads of loot drops. And now we're basically playing any map, so any map we wish we can play. It's better to play some open maps, like Sand Speed for example. If I'm not mistaken, that's a good one. But tablets should change. Of course, we're not hunting for Asmida spirits right now. We're actually looking for this new type of map, and this costs 4 divine orbs for a reason. So this map costs a lot. It's inhibited by additional rock exile. It will make sure there's 1 additional rock exile in the map. That's like super good. It's a new mod. There's only 200 tablets on the market right now, and there's a reason. So for you, just increased chance to contain rock exiles will work. Maximum chance is 50%, but stuff like 40% will work. Make sure if you buy these maps not to try Chaos Orb on top. Yeah, this step with Chaos Orb and extra rarity or other bonuses is not needed, because you will remove these abysses overrun by the Abyssal. So this is set in stone. We will run just 42% increased chance to contain rogue exiles. It's better to have combination of those, so we will get even more increased chance to contain rogue exiles, but with Atlas, with unlucky roll, we can actually double effects of these tablets. We get 200%. 200% is fine, and we probably will find one. And we just praying to find one near the pits, near the Abyssal pits. That's basically the farming strategy. So Abyssal pits, as you can see, there's lots of them. We need to just destroy everyone in one shot. At least my build is able to do it. If you're interested in my build, make sure to leave a comment. I will reply to you if I make a video about it. But for now, let's just see if we can find any rogue exile. Anyway, this area with Abyssal guys will always be pretty good, with lots of drops, with lots of chests. You may find lots of cool stuff. Okay, dokie, where is my rogue exile? Yeah, this build is awesome. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. He's destroyed somewhere nearby, and if everything is lucky, he will get out of this pit with another guys. Maybe I destroyed him too fast. Maybe we got not completely lucky, but we got rogue exile, and that's important to know. They're not always removed from existence and revived at the pits. So it's still a chance-based stuff. But what we're looking for is Heart of the Well Diamond. So whenever Rogue Exile is revived, he will drop this diamond in most cases. And they can be pretty cheap for 1 Divine Orb. So you may ask, why would you want to actually farm those? Well, it depends on the roles. And if you're just farming, you don't want to identify it. So unidentified diamonds go for 8 Divine Orbs or so, for 9 even. So technically you can infuse this area with 3 additional rogue exiles. You can be lucky and you can roll 20% increase, so maybe you will get 4 of them. But again, it will require you to have these tablets that costs 4 divine orbs right now. Probably will be a lot cheaper. But as you can guess, tablets right now becoming a lot more valuable. That's because drop rates are decreased and difference in good rolls and bad rolls are a lot more crazier. Since before we got from 10 to 15% increased stack size of simulacrum sprinters, and technically it doesn't matter too much, you have 13 or 14, but right now you can have 10% or 30%. It's just insane how much power your tablets can have right now. And that leads us to our next strategy, and that's ingredients for our second strategy. So we're going with chaotic quantity. We're just increasing pack size. We want more monsters on our map, and we're mixing our Waystone with it, with our Chaos Orb. Pow! We got it. Pack size 58%. Now we will add Liquid Disgust. Yeah, Liquid Disgust is pretty fun stuff, and no one knows it probably because no one used it, but it gives you increased chance for precursor tablets found in area. Pow! So we get this increased chance for precursor tablets, and it's 90%. Of course, we want to desecrate it if you wish. It's up to you, it's just nice to have it. And we're trying to desecrate for pack size or just any okayish mod. Now we need to find correct tablets, and I will look for quantity tablets for this. And honestly, quantity got kinda nerfed to previous quantities, so probably people will start run a rarity or just content farm, more rogue exiles and stuff like that, as I told you. But quantity is still a king right now, especially for this strategy. And of course, they are pretty valuable. So if you don't have them, don't buy them. You can run the strategy even without those. And if you're curious how I'm looking for exactly high rarity tablets in my stash tab, well, I'm using these regex codes. I will post them in pinned comment, and if you wish I can update and add more of them if needed. But for now we're picking tablets, and for the strategy we just want to have irradiation tablet and other tablets that you want to play. For example, if you're actually going for different strategy, maybe you're playing loads of rituals, you can just run 3 rituals. But in current state, it's also like nice to have 1 irradiation tablet at least, since in most cases it's almost impossible to add this extra level to your content. And this will be set up. Idea is simple. Our tablets is super valuable right now, as I told you. They're a lot more rare, but with this setup you will start dropping them a lot more. So normally if you drop like 2 tablets per map, maybe if you're lucky, or 0 tablets per map for like 5 maps straight in current drop rates, which is more like common stuff actually. Then with this setup you're more likely to get at least like few of them every map and get lots of tablets. Again, as I told you, tablets are a lot more rare right now, so a lot more valuable, especially good ones. And that's basically what we're doing here. We're just trying to get as much precursor tablets as possible. And I'm telling you exactly running content you would like to run, because there's high chance to get tablets for content you're running right now. So for example, it's Delirious map, then Delirium tablets is pretty likely to like be in my pool. But here's a ritual, maybe we will find tablets for ritual by playing ritual a little bit. Okay, here's the first one, but it's legendary, not what we want, but that's what we will get. These tablets with Asmiri spirits for bosses is not super valuable, and that's how it works. We get just 1 precursor tablets from this run. Still, in the long run you will get more of them, and some of them can be sold for few divine orbs easily. Some of them are not. Unlike our last strategy that can yield even 10 divines per hour easily, on its own, without random drops. So, next strategy is pretty good. For this strategy we will need our old towers. No, not like exactly old towers. I'm not telling you that you're supposed to juice towers like me over here and then double juice them. Of course it's broken and it won't be in the game. You just need any tower, and we will abuse this system. Amount of citadels are risen by a lot. As you can see, there's 2 citadels over here, there's 1 more over here and 1 more over here, and actually they spawn in triplets. So basically if you see 1, then there will be like 1 more and 1 more somewhere over here. If you still can't find citadels, you're just not going into straight line. So to find citadel you need to go into one direction and just go forward, 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 and so on, until you'll find first. And when you find first, well, that's where all citadels will begin to spawn basically. And yeah, some people told me that they not spawning well. I asked them to show me Atlas and they went forward for like 1 screen and then go to the right side, then to the right side again. It's not forward. Forward is this direction, so this will be forward. You go forward and you will find them in like 4 screens or so. It's not a lot of maps actually. Okay, so why do we need towers? Basically we want to travel faster if you're going for this strategy, and I actually advise you to move as fast as possible. I got a bunch of Grand Project precursor tablets. Right now they're selling for 100 exalted orbs. It's not a big deal, and actually they are on sale right now because people kinda want to get rid of them, since nowadays it's nice to play every map, you don't need to go faster. However, for this strategy you will like to go faster. Maybe when you're watching this video they are already a lot cheaper than 100 exalts. In this strategy I really recommend you running like as fast as possible. So here's the cool part, you don't need any other extra content when you're arriving on tower, so you can play pretty much like easy tower. You don't need hard towers. Okay, that's the time, and I'm just speedrunning this tower. We don't care about anything, we just want to get to the end as fast as possible. And don't forget, now every map will have boss, so yeah, we will need to fight a boss. Here comes a boss, and now there's no boss, and we get precursor tablet, because every time you complete tower you get these tablets. Now, to prepare Waystone for this strategy, you need to find Waystone with high Waystone drop chance over here. It should already be high, and high I mean like 90 or 100%. It can be like around 80%, but if you got 1 extra slot. This one is full with 0 slots, and we anyway want to desecrate this, so we adding a little bit of sauce on top. Idea that desecrated Waystones will give you high amount of Waystones drop chance. In most cases. We got the lucky drop, we're definitely taking this additional pits. Again, if you want you can leave it for later, or you can just play this on maps that we will play right now. So I will do exactly this. Yeah, and now it's time to grease it a little bit with our liquid envy. And liquid envy is a key. So basically we're adding 3 distilled emulsions. They're super cheap, and we want to have increased Waystone drop chance in this area. So right now we get 110 Waystone drop chance, but tada, we got 200% drop chance. So using this Grand Project again helps us to move faster. As you can see, there's next Citadel over here, and for this strategy you can actually buy Grand Projects pretty easily. So I'm aiming at Citadels mostly, so this is my goal, basically go to, but then I can jump into this tower, drop Grand Project, jump into the next Citadel, maybe there will be one more tower, one more Citadel, and so on and so on. We can unlock loads of parts of Atlas pretty easily. Right now I'm just going over here with my Waystone for Waystone drop chance. And you're looking for tablets with Waystone drop chance. I have 20, 48 and 37. That's actually more than enough. Coolest part, this strategy won't make your maps like a lot harder, and actually it's overkill, so you can just skip it. You can actually play extra breach, extra ritual in this place, but I will show you how it works. So to fully maximize this strategy, you actually want to respec this extra Asmiri spirits and other like stuff that we don't need, and spec over here into explicit modifiers to have a little bit more explicit modifiers bonuses. But again, it's not like crucial, it won't change a lot of stuff. You just want to load on the map and see that you have insane increased Waystone fountain area bonus over here. You can even use Waystone drops from the bosses, but in my experience this works just a lot better. So increased Waystone fountain area works a lot better, and it's at 400%, exactly thanks for our Atlas, mostly for bonuses to explicit modifiers over here, that's basically increasing power of our Waystone, and also this unstable energy. It gives us ability to again kind of increase effects, but most importantly again this part of the tree that gives us precursor tablets explicit modifier will be more powerful, so we're dropping like 100% increased Waystone drop chance, but it's increased by like 36% over here with little white nodes, and this node will give us 20% chance to double effects of precursor tablets, and in reality if it triggers you can have around 600% increased Waystone fountain area. So what we achieve, we basically achieve insanely fun stuff. First of all, we will get a lot of Waystones on the ground, so if you're short on Waystones it's also nice, but that's not like most important part about our strategy. We are here not for Waystones, we are here for our Citadel boss, of course, and stuff that drops from him. So Citadel boss will always drop you fragments, and for this strategy you actually want to already clear Arbiter. So Arbiter should be cleared, and you basically need to have all map boss skill points. If you don't know how to get them, well, that's basically how you get them. You need to finish map boss in area 79, tier 15 Waystone basically, with 6 modifiers, so 0 attempts. 1 attempt technically. Then you want to do the same in irradiated map, so 80 plus area. Also you want to do the same with anomaly map boss, and that's bosses in secret areas. And also you want to slay Citadel map boss on tier 15 Waystone with 6 modifiers, so that's basically what we're doing right now. And also you want to slay Pinnacle boss, so you want to finish Arbiter 1 time. With all points, these guys will start to drop more powerful fragments, and that's the key. So with our current actually like setup, it's a lot easier to run this strategy than before, because before we was forced to actually go and find like multiple towers first. After finding multiple towers, well, we need to drop bunch of Waystones inside, and it was not super stable, I would say. So sometimes you drop like 6 tablets for Waystone drop chance, and bam, you're basically out, because sometimes they drop just 1 Waystone, 1 fragment that we are looking for, and that was bad. But right now it's a lot more stable, and again you just keep this bunch of tablets for Waystone drop chance in your pockets, like in your inventory, like in your stash, and then you apply them only when you're farming this strategy, only on this map, and then you just drop them again in your bag. So let's see, we got like a little bit of power, we got Shrine, hopefully we can do like deal with him faster, but again he's pretty powerful, it's delirious map. Okay, my friend decided to run a little bit of farms over here, but we don't care about this, not too much at least. Bam bam bam, and come on Abomination, remove part of the train already. Oh, he's out. So, he's out. What's up, Asala? Give me my drops, please. And you will see drops right now. So that's the drops. There's randomness a little bit. Sometime he even drops 2 of them. So as you can see, it takes about like 10 minutes to complete tower, to explain what's going on, how to like grease waystones. If you're not explaining anything, it can be done even faster. And again, another tower, another map over here. So the red one will drop tertiary calamity fragments, and guess what, they're going for like 2 divines right now. So technically it's 4 divines per map, and it's super fast, super stable way to gain this like currency. Orange Citadel drops secondary fragments, they goes for almost the same. With faster build you can do even faster things, but technically just running this strategy alone with investments into grant projects, and again they becoming cheaper and cheaper, can give you around 10 divines per hour super easily. So it's like super easy divines right now. I really recommend this strategy. As you can see, this sells really fast, and we're getting a little bit of divines in our pockets. If you know what to farm at Arbiter, of course you can farm multiple Arbiters by doing this strategy. But again, why I'm recommending this strategy right now? Because Citadel spawn rate increased, therefore they won't be as needed for a lot of players. Also, again, currently we are moving forward. We're not staying in one place, which is like juiced place. So again, I recommend you really running this strategy right now. And if you're able to defeat like 3 citadels in 1 hour, it's super easy. Actually, again, I don't even need to invest into Grand Project over here. I can just go into Marrow, and then like in 2 maps I will be in Citadel over here, and same goes for like this place. It's just super awesome. And in the meantime, on open maps, you just run different strategy. So just keep this in mind. Well, it is for today. I hope you enjoyed it, but if you want more farming videos, watch them on the screen right now, and see you there.